Hello, Gabe Heller, G. Hohenzollern on YouTube and How Now Brown Couch on Twitch. And this evening I'm working on a project. So these are guitar strings. I sometimes play the guitar. And they used to come in packages like this, which I found very convenient. But they don't anymore. Anymore they come in packages like this, which are very flimsy. And you cut them open, they don't have a flap to keep the string from coming out. And sometimes they just come like one whole set in one plastic bag. So if I break one string and I just want to replace one string quickly, it becomes a whole rigmarole and I hate it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try and make some of these. So they appear to just be paper and glued together. So I'm going to take one apart. That's the first step. Okay, so I now have a towel here and I have some water. I'm going to pour some water on the towel. It's beating up quite a bit. And then I'm going to fold the towel over onto itself like that. There we go. Now hopefully the water will have kind of soaked in a bit. Okay, good. And then I'm going to put this in there. And I'm going to iron it a bit. And we'll see if that makes the glue let go. This is just my best guess. I've not really done anything quite like this before. I could just tear it apart, but I would like to have a nice, clean copy to work from. I don't know if you can see my cat is checking stuff out here. Here we have an iron. I have not used this iron in a while. There is an icon that says iron. Is it warming up? There's a dial. The dial is set to off. I think we want dry. Aha! Another light has come on. My cat is here. Yeah, it's starting to feel a little warm under there. Oh, I think there might be some water in the iron. I can hear the water boiling. It's steaming. I didn't set it to steam. You can't see it, but my cat is watching my every move. His head is following the iron as it goes back and forth. So I even remember a time when these string packages would be made of a different material other than paper. It was kind of a cross between paper and cloth, or maybe it was kind of a, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I've seen envelopes made out of it as well. It's very soft for paper, but it's kind of closer to paper than cloth. But also, like, the strands of it kind of go every which way. Makes it very strong. I haven't seen anything like it in a long time. I don't know where I'd get it, so I'm probably just going to end up making these out of regular paper. Okay, that seems about right. Let us see what we've got, other than a very hot piece of paper. Okay, off. Off. This was set to that. I'm not sure what that is, but it might be important. Well, I suspect it's coming off easier than it would otherwise have, but it is still tearing just a little bit. I maybe should have faced it the other way up. This side is working better. All right, we have disassembled it, and now we have a shape. Yay, shape. Let's iron that shape flat. It doesn't curl up too much. And then we're going to take it over to the scanner. All right, here we are at the scanner. This is an Epson tank printer. I wish they had made tank printers long before the pandemic made everybody start printing stuff from home and getting tired of the color cartridges going bad, going empty. But they didn't, so here we are. Finally, I have a tank printer, and it also has a scanner, which is good because my old scanner had long ago ceased to function. Cool. Okay, so here we are. I only have time to set up capture. So we're just going to run the scanner. There it is, Epson Scan 2. Resolution 150 dpi should be fine. Grayscale should be fine. Let's scan. There it is. Let's have a look at it. Well, the edges of it didn't come up very good, so I guess I'm going to have to scan it again against a black background. What do I have that is black? A cat. That will not work. A pot? We have a black cutting board. There we have it. Hopefully this will hold it down reasonably evenly. It doesn't really, does it? A black cutting board. Fits nicely. Here we go. There it is. And we can make out the shape much better. Excellent. Okay, I have the image open in GIMP here. Colors, there we go, threshold. Make sure the white's white and the black is black. There were probably some finger marks on it. Good. Okay, and then I think I can just select it by color then. Good. And we'll grow the selection. I say 5 pixels just to be safe. And we'll fill it with black. Okay, then we'll select all the black. We'll first, because there's a little bit there that's not black, we'll grow it by like 1 pixel. There we go, and then we'll shrink it. Select, shrink by 3 pixels, let's say. There we go, and then we'll clear that. Okay, looks like, do we have a border? I'm not sure. That's not what I wanted. I don't think we had a border. Oh, we'll see. Now comes the real trick here. We'll see if we can get it to print at the right size. It's gotten increasingly hard to get things to print at the right size in GIMP. Now, this is probably a full 8.5 by 11, and that's probably too big. Canvas size. Let's try taking the canvas size down to 8 by 10 and a half. And we'll center it. And you might need to move it up a bit. There we go. Okay. And layer to image size. Okay. Let's take a risk and hope that it is the right size. Guitar.png. I missed the I. Guitar.png. Okay, and let's try printing it. To print it on the Epson. Actually, we probably do want to print it on the Brother, because it's got cheaper paper in it at the moment. And we don't have the right kind of fancy paper. I think I hear the printer printing. And here we have a printout. Okay, it looks maybe a little big, but we can quite easily compare it and see if it has printed it too big. It appears to be exactly the right size, I think. If anything, it's a little small, but I don't think it's small. I think it's exactly the right size. I hope. It certainly looks very similar. Yeah, I think it's fine. It might be a tiny bit smaller, but I think it will be fine. So now we're going to cut it out. Okay, here we go. Probably would be doing this better if I wasn't trying so hard to keep it in shot. This cheap paper is not actually all that different from what they come in. It might be just a little thicker, but I don't think it's going to be so much thicker that they become bulky and don't fit. And the envelopes, the nice sturdy plastic envelopes that the sets of strings come in, or used to come in, before they came in these packages designed to make you want to throw them away, and just making it easier to change all your strings at once, which is fine as long as none of your strings break individually. Cat's back. He's making noises. I don't know if he's going to get into the picture or not. We'll see. I do have a paper cutter which I probably could use for these long sections, and it might make it easier to do the other parts as well. I don't know. That would be less extra to mess with. I wonder if there's any way I could fit two of these on one sheet of paper, but I kind of think that's not going to work. Alrighty, there we have it. So here's the other one. It looks like it folds right at the bottom there, and right up to the top. Okay. Yeah, that does. That is a little low there. It's got a bit of a low neck. What we would expect. Not too bad. Let's get some glue. Now ideally we'd probably use glue sticks for this, but I don't have any glue sticks at the moment, so I'm just using standard Elmer school glue. I'm also going to glue the old one back together. And it's so easy to use too much. I feel like they were very, very sparing in their use of glue to hold this together originally. So I'm going to try and use not very much. Not none, though. I think I'm going to have to clean out this glue. Maybe what I'll do instead is use a toothpick. There we go. It takes so little glue to hold something together. And it's, especially when you're dealing with thin pieces of paper, it gets to be a mess so quickly if you use too much. Used just a little too much there, but maybe I can wipe some of it off over here. Maybe. Nope, I just used too much. Darn it! There's more on the toothpick than I saw. Yeah, it's on my hands. It's on stuff. I'm going to have to wipe it off. Hope not to have to use too much paper in my pursuit of replacing these things. Okay, and now I think we want to put these underneath a book or something. Probably face down, so if they stick to anything, it's the table and not the book. Actually, I found a book that has a plastic cover on it, so I'm going to turn them over here. I think it is less likely now to stick to the plastic cover. This is my old German-English dictionary from high school. Alrighty. Okay, it's been an hour, so let's see what we've got here. Well, they are stuck to the dictionary, but not stuck particularly hard. Excellent. And here we have, here we have the string that came out of this box, this envelope. Let's see if we can get it to fit in this envelope. Nope, it's coming apart because I was trying to do it with one hand, and that was a mistake. We have a string in there. Let's pull the top down. Where's the top pull down on this one? It's a little above it, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Probably have done that before I put the string in. There we go. And in goes the string. Hey, we've got a string envelope. Project done.
Just to let you know, this video is over soon. So rub your eyes and scratch your thighs and sing in tune. It's time to find another kind of video, for this one is nearly done, you know.